Football is just 7 days away, and we are here to continue doing the NFL season record predictions for every single NFL team. Yesterday, we did the AFC East, and this is the standings for the AFC East. We have the Buffalo Bills in first place with an 11-6 record. The New England Patriots in second place with a 10-7 record. The Miami Dolphins in third place with a 9-8 record, and the New York Jets finishing the division off with a 7-10 record. And today we are gonna do the AFC West. Not the Ravens. Why did it click the Ravens? We are not doing the Ravens. We are doing the AFC West. Starting it off with the Kansas City Chiefs. So week 1, they face off against the Detroit Lions, and I think they will win that game against the Lions. Then they go to Jacksonville to face Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, and I think Trevor Lawrence beats them there. Then they go to Chicago, face they don't go to Chicago, but they face the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields, and I think they'll get a win there. Then they go to New York and face the Jets, and they get a win there. Then they go to Minnesota and get a win there. Then they return home to play the Denver Broncos and get a win there. Then they face off against Justin Herbert and the Chargers and get a win there. I think they'll win against them. Then they go to Mile High and get a win there. Then they go to Miami and lose. They don't go to Miami. They go to Germany. Look at that. That game's in Germany. And I think the Miami Dolphins will win that game. Then they go on a bye week. Then they have the Eagles. I think the Eagles will get them there. Then they go to Las Vegas to face the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think the Raiders will win that game. Then they go to Green Bay to face Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers and get a win there. Then they face off against the Buffalo Bills and get a win there. Then they go to New England to face the Patriots and get a win there. And then they return home to face off against the Las Vegas Raiders again, and this time I have them winning that game against the Raiders. I have them beating the Cincinnati Bengals and then losing to the Los Angeles Chargers in Week 18, which will give them a 12-5 record. All right, so there you guys have it, the record for the Kansas City Chiefs. Next up will be the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, so week 1, they have the Denver Broncos in Mile High, and I'll have them losing that game. Then, actually, no, they always sweep the Broncos, so I'll have them winning week 1. Then they go to Buffalo and face Josh Allen and the Bills and get a loss. Then they return back home and face off against the Steelers and get a win. Then they face off against Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert will get them there. Then Jordan Love comes to Las Vegas and loses. I'll have the Raiders winning that game. Then they face off against the Patriots and lose. Then they go to Chicago to face Justin Fields and the Bears, and I'll have them winning that game. Then they go to Detroit and lose. I have the Lions winning that game. Then the Giants come to town and beat them. I'll have them beating the Las Vegas Raiders. Then they beat the Jets. Then they beat the Dolphins. Then they beat the Chiefs. Then they go on a bye week. They come off the bye week and beat the Minnesota Vikings. Then I'll have them winning against the Los Angeles Chargers, losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 16. I'll have them beating the Colts. And I'll have them finishing off against the Broncos with a W, which will give them an 11-6 record for the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, next team will be the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, so week 1, they get a W against the Miami Dolphins. Then week 2, they face off against Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. I'll have them winning that game. Then they go to Minnesota to face Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, and I'll have them losing that game. Then they go home to face off against the Raiders and win. Then they go on a bye week, an early bye week for the Los Angeles Chargers in week 5. Then they come off the bye week and lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Then in week 7, they go to Arrowhead and lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. Then they return home to face off against Justin Fields and the Bears, and I'll have them winning that game. Then they go to New York to face the Jets, and I'll have the Jets winning that game. Then they return home to face off against Jared Goff and the Lions, and I'll have the Lions winning that game. They'll beat Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. They'll lose to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Then they lose to the New England Patriots in Week 13. Then they beat up on the Denver Broncos in Week 14. Then they lose to the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. Then they lose to Josh Allen and the Bills. Then they lose to the Denver Broncos at Mile High. And then finish off with a win against the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 18, which will give them a 7-10 record for your Los Angeles Chargers. And the final team we have here is the Denver Broncos. Week 1, they have the Las Vegas Raiders, and they will lose that game. Then they have the Washington Commanders. I'll give them a win there. Week 3, they go to Miami, and it's very hot in Miami, and they will lose that game. Then they go to Chicago and win. Then they return home to face off against the Jets, and I'll have them winning that game. Then they go to Arrowhead Stadium to face off against Patrick Mahomes and lose. Then they'll beat the Green Bay Packers. Then they'll lose to the Kansas City Chiefs again. They played the Kansas City Chiefs 2 out of 3 weeks. And then they go on a bye week. Then they come off the bye week and lose to Josh Allen and the Bills. Then they'll beat the Minnesota Vikings. They'll lose to the Cleveland Browns. They'll win against the Houston Texans. They'll lose to the Los Angeles Chargers. They'll lose to the Detroit Lions. They'll win against the New England Patriots. They'll win against the Los Angeles Chargers. And they will lose to the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 18, which will give them a 8-9 record. So there you guys have it. The AFC West will be first place, the Kansas City Chiefs with a 12-5 record. Second place, the Las Vegas Raiders with an 11-6 record. Then the Denver Broncos in third place with an 8-9 record, and the Los Angeles Chargers finishing it off at 7-10 record. If you guys did enjoy, we'll be doing every single team. Please hit me the like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next division rankings. See you then. Peace.